Hello, Core 3 Beauties. This is Marcos, and this is our first recap briefing video for week 1 going to week 2. And I'm putting together these videos so that you'll always have access to a review of what we've been doing in class and can hear the briefing for what's due on next week. It's also a chance for maybe being able to see some additional examples of projects or inspiration to help guide you in your work. And it's just something that you can always access in case you forgot what we discussed in class. But remember the number one rule with our YouTube videos: there is no playing fast forward of my videos so that my voice sounds silly, because if you hear my silly voice, then you won't be able to look me in the eye anymore and have respect for me. So please. But if you have an emergency and you have to do it, remember the cost. It's 1 chocolate bar, and I'll expect it the next week in class when you arrive. So let's get started here. We had a great first week, and I sure appreciate all the hard work that you guys did by diving into our first project and creating the exercise 1, part 1, and have everyone being so prepared with 3 options. Some of you even did 4. That were all engaging and interesting. And in many cases, you had the dilemma of how you would eliminate all of them and just focus on one. And I hope everyone's, by the time you're watching this, focused on one concept and are in the middle of developing it. And if you have a conflict or you have a new idea or something comes up like that, please reach out to me, Slack me or email me. I check pretty often over the weekend. I'll check as well if I remember, but I'm pretty good at that. Probably Slack is better, so I see it on my phone. And in case you aren't sure what to do, I can be accessible quickly and give you a message back. All right, so for our next class, we're going to be meeting on Tuesday again, and Thursday next week, as we will every week. And the next part 2 is the 1 by 25 by 50 project. By Tuesday, it's due on Thursday, but Tuesday you should have it in progress. And I want you to be ready to talk about it. We'll break up into small groups and just have you guys between classmates kind of share what you're up to, or talk about what your challenges are, or just show some progress, or just discuss, how it's going on your end. Very casual, no big deal. And then the main assignment for Tuesday is to make sure you watch the cross topics video 1 by Natasha on books, and be prepared to just have a quick short discussion about it. And then I'll also do a little more talking about this. I'll be briefing you on beginning project 1, the physical making project, and give you guidance on how to approach that, and also show you a couple of case studies of projects from last year and the results that came from their research they did, just like you're doing here with your 2 research projects, and then how that became a digital project and a physical project. So you can get kind of a sneak peek into what's possible for you and what you're doing there, and hopefully good inspiration and motivation for you. So just to remind you, we've got the 11 topics, all topics videos, and we have the first half of our semester, we're doing the 2 project series. And then we're going to do an independent project that is similar to the project series, where you do digital and physical making projects under the umbrella of a concept that you come up with that helps to create change in a positive way through design. And then we talked about our little math equation to remember to look at things in a unique way and to stay with logic. 1 + 1 is 2. But remember that if you put 2 ones together, that's an 11. So that's kind of a unique way of seeing something that might be obvious, but you might not see it or say it in that way. And that's where brilliant ideas come from. And remember that we are now embracing suffering in this class, and that you will be open to pushing yourself to uncomfortableness and going through and working through the hard times, and making sure that you are pushing yourself and making yourself want to do your project as well as possible, and to go through the tears, because at the other side of suffering, we're going to have some joy, happiness, and beauty. And speaking of beauty, let's remember now that our concept prompt is that we are searching for a unique way of illuminating beauty, or finding a way to shine the light on a new way of seeing things. and having our mindset be shifted towards seeing the world through either objective beauty or subjective beauty, whether it's what you think or feel is beautiful, or whether what you are identifying as something that's ultimately good and beautiful and true for everyone and everything in that higher level, and that you are seeking to push virtues in truth, goodness, and beauty. And that is kind of our foundation for the whole semester, that we're kind of having this mindset. And that mindset means that we have a positive attitude and that our cup here is half full and not half empty. Okay, so you guys did a great job on the exercise collection, part 1, and put together 5 images for 3 concepts. And you should have all that worked out. And now part 2 is we're taking the topic that you picked and we're expanding on it, and we're building and collecting content. We're collecting content in a visual way, and we're collecting content in a text fashion, so that you begin to build an archive, a library, a group of assets that will in this week inform you more about your concept, inform you more about what you're exploring, and drive the way you are going to create your pieces. If you're going to be creating like a magazine or some kind of publication that requires text, the text you're getting now will be the content for that. So you're kind of briefing yourself on your concept while you're also collecting content that could be featured within your magazine or your zine or whatever it is that you create in a print way for your website or for your app, whatever you do there. So be working on that, and remember that we do have this idea that you need to create 25, where is it? You have to collect 25 pieces of writing that reflect your viewpoint, and then 50 images. And you might be saying, does it have to be exactly 25? Does it have to be 50? And just remember our lesson from last class, that the purpose of the sign is not, or the law around the sign is that you must put the sign up. The law isn't that you must wash your hands if you're an employee. So I have told you to wash your hands, and whether you do it or not, well, no one's going to check. So I want, this is you don't have to follow the spirit of the law. I'm not going to count. Are there 25 pieces of text that you have there? It's basically saying gather a lot and get a lot of images, and do what it takes to be able to have yourself fully armed for next week or week after next, when we're going to start the design process for your pieces. All right. And then we went through a couple examples of what this could look like, and it will be a bigger deck that has lots of information in it that you'll just kind of keep building on and adding to. These are just a couple of different examples of ways of doing it that we went through in class. Another one that I pulled up is a little more straightforward. This is about doors, or was it doors? Or graffiti. And the visual references are just, she went on and took more pictures of her graffiti studies within, I think, the East Village, and just collected her 50 images and showcased them kind of straight up like this. And then the written references, she collected these articles and this research text from various sources, mostly online, and just did kind of like a preview snapshot of what that text is. And if sometimes there's more to it, that's a link, or it's just what you see is what you get. As you can see here, I'm not going to count, but I don't feel like that was 50, but it'd be better if there was more, of course. But that's basically your sort of basic way of doing the assignment. But I would encourage you to do as much as you can and be able to have as much content as possible. Okay, so how did I get onto this? This is the wrong thing. Here we go. Oops, no. I think it was here. Okay, I've lost my place, and why is this happening? Okay, here we go. All right, so I have posted a new exercise or the assignment on Canvas. It's called Exercise Collection Research Part 2. If you click on that, you'll get the same briefing that we went over. You'll get a couple of the images of the examples, and there's also the link to the video. And remember that we're going to be putting things as we did last week. And here's a new part 2 Google Drive folder. And then the video, make sure you watch that. And the link is in the Canvas assignment page that I just showed you. So be ready next week on Tuesday with your progress, and then I'll also be available while the groups are going on to meet with anybody one-on-one as you meet in groups. And then on Thursday, we will have a review of everyone's progress on their 125 to 50 projects. All right. So thanks, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Work hard, stay vigilant, and be disciplined in your time. I know it's a holiday weekend, so do take some time to enjoy it, but also make sure you keep a good pace with the work you're doing in this class, and also, of course, in your other classes. Make sure you're balancing that as well, even though this is your most important class. And then reach out to me as you need, and then I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great holiday weekend, and take care.